Hi everybody, this is Crow the Sandler fan here, and it's time for me to do another movie review. Today's movie review is going to be on one of my favorite sequels from my childhood, and it's also, of course, the sequel to the 2006 film Curious George, and that would be the 2010 sequel called Curious George 2 Follow That Monkey. So Curious George 2 is basically about George, played by Frank Welker, who's living in the city and is basically excited to go to this magic show, who's hosted by this magician named Piccadilly, played by Tim Curry. And George basically wants Ted to take him to the magic show. And Ted, at first Ted doesn't want to, but Ted's friend Maggie wants Ted to do so. So Ted eventually brought George to the magic show, and George really enjoyed the magic show, especially seeing this blue elephant named Kayla. But then of course, George realizes that Kayla did not want to be in the magic show, and she would rather be in her home with her elephant friends. So George decides to help bring Kayla back to her animal friends, and that's basically what the plot is. My opinion on the sequel. Now, I know a lot of people did not like the sequel, and they were calling it a terrible sequel. But in my opinion, I actually enjoyed Curious George 2. I honestly defend that film. It's a really good sequel from my childhood. In fact, just like the first movie, Curious George 2 is also a big part of my childhood. I watched it a lot when I was little, and it's a really great sequel in my opinion. I thought the acting performances were really well done and spectacular. I thought Frank Welker did a good job reprising his role as George, and Jeff Bennett, who voiced the man with the yellow hat from the Curious George TV show, reprises his role as Ted in this movie. He did a pretty good job voicing him. And Tim Curry did a good job voicing Piccadilly. And also, the late Jerry Lewis is in it too. He plays the station master, which I forget what his name is, but he was pretty funny in that one. And of course, you got this villain named Daniel Wolf, who wants to bring Kayla back to the magic show, and of course, kidnap George and the man with the yellow hat. I honestly thought Daniel Wolf was a pretty funny villain. I really like Daniel Wolf. He's a really good villain, and he's not even weak. And I gotta say, Jamie Kennedy did a pretty good job voicing the villain. In fact, I like Jamie Kennedy a lot better as Daniel Wolf in this movie. Jamie Kennedy was really terrible as of course the main character in Son of the Mask. Yeah, Son of the Mask is a really awful movie, and we don't ever want to talk about it. But I like Jamie Kennedy a lot better in this movie, and Daniel Wolf, like I said, is a pretty funny villain. So overall, there's nothing else I could say about Curious George 2 Follow That Monkey. To some of you who've never seen Curious George 2, I personally recommend it. It's a really good sequel for the whole family to enjoy. Although I can agree that it's not as good as the first film, but it's still a good sequel. Well, in my opinion. But if you don't want to watch Curious George 2, then that's fine with me. It's really your choice on what movie you want to watch. I was just only giving a recommendation and suggestion. But anyways, thank you for listening to my review on Curious George 2. For my final rating, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 stars. It's a really good sequel from my childhood. So I hope you enjoy listening to my review on Curious George 2. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is me saying peace out.